I'm going to talk about the rules of composition in regards to this successful Zentangle. This is a Zentangle that was turned in from a previous year, and it was a very strong assignment. It received an A in technique, in composition, in variety, and in pattern. So this is a great example Zentangle. I'm going to point at some things using my mouse, so follow that if you're not sure where to look. The first rule we're going to talk about is the rule of thirds. Now, the rule of thirds says that if I put a tic-tac-toe board and equal thirds across my artwork, then the areas of emphasis should be close to where these lines intersect. The area of intersection is where we should keep our viewers' visual interest, and we should use the other points to balance it out. So you can see that my main area of focus, my main focal point, hits this bottom left intersection. I've got a few other areas of emphasis to help balance it out, these smaller ones and this big area of negative space here. But my main focal point follows that rule of thirds. The three quadrant rule is a rule that we use to create unity within an artwork. When you're planning your Zentangle and as you continue to add techniques and patterns to your Zentangle, this is a rule that I want you to think about. It says that elements of art will often be repeated in 3 out of the 4 quadrants in order to create a feeling of unity within an artwork. So let's find some patterns and see if they're repeated in at least 3 of the 4 quadrants in this Zentangle. First one we're going to look at is this pattern over here on the top right. It's kind of squiggly lines filled with small straight geometric lines. That pattern is repeated over here on this side, and it is crossing this middle line, so it is in both of these left side quadrants, as well as the bottom on the right. So it is in this quadrant, and it hits both of these quadrants. So that pattern's in all 4. Let's look at this triangle pattern here, this little like Dorito pattern. It is in both of these quadrants as it crosses that line. It's also in this bottom right quadrant, and it's in this bottom left quadrant as well. It's actually in this top left quadrant twice where it passes there and there. This spirally, squiggly pattern of organic lines is in this top right quadrant. That's 1 quadrant. Top left quadrant, that's 2 quadrants. And then again here in the bottom right, 3 quadrants. This stripe with the spirally circles and filled in dots, this pattern is in the bottom right quadrant. It is repeated over here in this small area, top left, as well as over here, bottom left. Not only are individual patterns repeated throughout this Zentangle, but also areas of value. I have a dark value here, I have a dark value here, and I have dark values here and here. I have light value here, 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 and here. So by using both the 3 quadrant rule and the rule of thirds, when you're laying out your thumbnail, I want you to plan out a well-composed Zentangle.